Back to the Young Stars Classic in Penticton, the final game for the Calgary Flames and Winnipeg Jets. Jets up 2-1 after 40 minutes. Pleased to welcome in the Assistant General Manager of the Calgary Flames, Brad Pascall, and also the General Manager of the Calgary Wranglers, who make the move up to Calgary. Now, maybe just first, before we get into some of the work off the ice, let's see what you saw here through 40 minutes of your team on the ice.
Really good effort from our players. Happy with the effort they came out after a couple of losses. I thought we were tenacious, especially to start both periods. And obviously we're out shooting them, so you got to think that we'll break out with a few more goals here. But yeah, happy with some of the performances today for sure.
Talking to a couple of guys yesterday after the practice, and a few of them felt that there was probably a little bit more to come from them. Is that fair to say that just the approach that those guys kind of took into this one today?
Yeah, I believe so. I mean, we had, I believe, 14 players that played in the rookie games against the Oilers last year, so. You got to think they know what to expect, but when you're playing against, other teams that want to win too and want to prove themselves, it's always a competitive battle. So, it's just educating our players, and some of them played in the American League last year, but we have guys that are this is their first experience wearing the Flaming C. So it's for them it's a learning experience of every play matters, and really you have to dig in. So it's all part of the learning experience, and that's what this tournament's all about.
Well, and so many guys in different positions, guys, as you mentioned, that are maybe turning pro for the first time or maybe just, still in junior. But, the opportunity to get these games in, how beneficial is it for no matter where you are in the ranking or on the depth chart, just to make sure you get, a little game under your game action under your belt before the camp starts?
Yeah, it's really important. I mean, this is a showcase for them against their peer group, and what they're going to do going into to camp. So, you have the opportunity to play 2 or 3 games here. They might not have the opportunity to play 5 or 6 NHL games. So this is their time to shine. This is the time. This is their training camp for the most part. Some players will start in Calgary and then go right back to junior and maybe not get an exhibition game in the NHL. So this is their time to shine, and for us really to get to know them against their peer group.
Well, and on that note, just how beneficial for your staff. I mean, obviously it's been 4 years since the Calgary Flames have been back at this tournament, but 3 games in 4 days. Obviously, the guys up in the seats, a lot of them had a hand in drafting players, and, just to be able to see them and kind of the fruits of the labor in some ways.
Yeah, definitely. We had some amateur scout meetings. We have a lot of our amateur scouts here, so and even for management and coaches, you look all summer, you have the players' names on the board, and now you get to see them again. Yeah. See what they did over the summertime and work with our player development guys. And, so we're all excited to see them. It's, players that you draft, some free agent players here, get to know them a little bit and see if there'll be a future for them in the organization. But we really enjoy this tournament. You get to dig in your own prospects, but you get the opportunity to see other teams' prospects as well, and get a little bit of a book on them. So it's, it's a great city here, and they do such a great job in Penticton. So crowds have been great, and like I say, we really enjoy this tournament and focusing on our players most first and foremost.
Yeah, all 4 teams taken care of very well here, and what a beautiful venue. I mean, let's talk about a lot of the guys that are we're seeing here on the ice. You'll have first up close and personal here over the course of this season, and even last, I think 6 guys from Stockton last year on the roster. But just when it comes to the Calgary Wranglers and the transition to Calgary from Stockton over the last number of years, what is all entailed in there, and just trying to make that an easy transition, this year?
Sure, lots of details to cover, and Peter Bureau, our equipment manager, has dealt with a lot of that, just unpacking and loading and getting settled. So, it's similar to moving a house and uprooting a family, if you will, and we've had to do that with our staff, move their families to Calgary, and then just all of our equipment and get ready for the season. So from a logistics standpoint, right, it's been a lot, and I think we're in a position where we're ready to go. But organizationally, we're excited to have the Wranglers as part of the Flames umbrella in Calgary. We feel that there's so many good organizational synergies of having the team there. Players just having one place to live and going to practice down the hallway here or down the hallway here. We think that's beneficial. More eyes on the players, sure, from NHL coaching staff, management, player development. And from a transaction standpoint of players going up and down, just so many good synergies, and we're excited to have the team here.
Well, and obviously a lot of exciting players we saw down some great years last year. And I want to ask you about Dustin Wolf real quick, because not in the lineup today, but just one of those guys who had such a great, outstanding rookie year in the American League last year, and just a guy I'm sure you enjoyed watching as well.
Definitely. Tremendous talent. Wonderful individual. He really had a great summer again. He's such a focused, competitive player, and you know, a player that has a really bright future ahead of him, and yeah, excited to see what he can do again this season.
Before we let you go, of course, today was the funeral of the Queen, and there was a photo that we want to show our viewers and obviously bring up for you, maybe just to share a little story in the background. But there's your wife, the beautiful and talented Cassie Campbell Pascall, and maybe just the background of this from your perspective.
Yeah, it was what a moment for hockey, to be quite honest with you. You know, she had a history of seeing a couple NHL exhibition games in the past, years and years ago, and you know, my wife getting the honor of being asked to do that with Ed Jovanovski and Wayne Gretzky and Howie Meeker. It was tremendous. Yeah, I had the pleasure of going on the trip with her. I didn't get to meet the Queen, but you know, for her to meet the Queen and be a part of that, it's something that she's never ever going to forget. And she has that picture proudly displayed in her office at her house.
Yeah,
so yeah, it was something that she'll never forget for sure.
Yeah, what a moment, and obviously the moment of silence here before this hockey game today. Thanks for doing this. Appreciate the time.
My pleasure. Thank you.
Brad Pascall.